when it comes to freedom, a lot of people just don't want freedom. They don't want freedom because freedom comes with responsibility, right? Freedom means that you have to be responsible for something in your outside world. I've got these dogs that give me so much pleasure in life. Bowsy here, and Murphy is his brother. But they're a massive responsibility, to treat them right and to make sure that they have a good life. You can drag up a dog like you can drag up a kid, and most people do. Most people. I think anyone with a heart and they get an animal, you see what they're there for. That how much pleasure they can give you in return. It's it's a two-way street. This, but it's responsibility. Responsibility is a commitment as well. If you get a dog, you're 100% committed to it. And that's what you have to be in certain aspects of your life. Is just 100% committed. 100% responsible for the things that you do, that you push out into the world. But a lot of people don't want that because there's a kind of a perceived security in not being responsible. People think, well, if I say that it's not me, it's my genes, or it's a disease that I've got, or it's something that is outside of my control, then I'm not responsible. But as long as you get that into your head, then, it's a dangerous thing to do because it allows you you're on a slippery slope to nowhere. I've done this in my life, and I can tell you which part of my life has turned out better when I had responsibility and I took full responsibility, or I didn't. When I stopped blaming things that were wrong with me, I stopped blaming society, I stopped blaming my family, and started to take the responsibility onto my own shoulders. And this is not something that I'm saying is it's easy. I'm not saying that it's something that I found particularly easy. It's something that I've struggled with. I still struggle with it in certain aspects of my life. But it's an ongoing thing that I think the more responsibility that you can take for yourself, the better your life is going to be. There's no upside to being a victim in life. There's no upside at all, except in the moment or what you feel in the moment. But that in itself it's illusory. It's a delusion because it doesn't last. Even that you can take alcohol, for instance. You drink alcohol and your body gets used to the alcohol, so you need more alcohol to top it up to get the same buzz. And you need more and more and more alcohol. Same thing with porn, right? This is something that's been coming out with internet porn, that young fellas will start out, I'm not sure about women, but young fellas will start out with normal porn, but then they'll gradually won't get the same buzz out of the same porn, so they have to get more and more extreme forms of porn. So, that's the same thing with victimhood. If you take on that role as being a victim, you can only say the same thing over and over so many times, and people take notice of you, and eventually people will stop listening to you and stop seeing yourself as being a victim. So you have to victimize yourself more, or put yourself into that victim mindset more. And once you pass the immediate, it's all downhill from there. Unfortunately, some parts of our society, a lot of our society these days, it seems to me, the healthcare system, the government, the university system, they're all set up to make victims of the people who they're supposed to be caring for. They make victims of the person themselves and of the person's behavior. They reward the victimhood. They reward, look at how many people are being let out of prisons now. You commit crimes, they're let out of prisons, and they say, well, it's not their fault. Sorry, but look at the society that we're building because of that. As far as I'm concerned, this rewarding victimhood is everywhere, and the way that you stop it is by stop rewarding the victim in yourself. Start there. It's the way that we change everything, is with ourselves first. And it sounds facetious, it sounds corny, but it's true. And as I said in the beginning, it's not something that I have overcome in my own life. There's a lot of this stuff that is deep-seated, that is there from from childhood. Not to blame. Childhood is being the victim of it. But saying that a lot of the unconscious stuff, a lot of the values and beliefs that you have, the narratives that you tell yourself are there from previous, they're obviously not just appeared in your life now, they're there from previous times. So it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of dedication to yourself, commitment to yourself, responsibility for yourself, to dig out those things and to change the ones that you can change. I mean, there's a lot of this stuff that, we're just not going to be able to change because it's so deeply embedded, and, it is one of those things. But I like the journey. I like the freedom of taking off the shackles, taking off the straitjacket, stepping outside of that prison cell, and having that freedom of saying to myself, what happens to me now, moving forwards, is on me. It's down to me. I can get up in the morning and I can sit there and watch TV all day, and I can blame the world for my problems. I can watch the news all day and I can blame the President of the United States for my problems. And don't worry, in Europe, a lot of that stuff is blamed on the President of the United States. A lot of it, right? You can say, oh, this person, that person he's the savior. The savior of you is you, right? There is a person who is causing problems in your life, and it is you. If you can get that down to that level, in every area of your life, and like I said, this is not something that I'm doing in every area of my life. I'm trying, I'm doing my best, but a lot of it happens underneath the surface and without you even thinking. So it is what it is. It's a ramble today, but start with yourself. Stop being a victim. Don't reward yourself for the victimhood. And it's a good journey. It's a good life. It's a life that will bring you a lot of rewards, a lot of long-term rewards, a lot of long-term satisfaction, and knowing that you've done the right thing. I think that's a reward in and of itself at the end of the day. So take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Onwards and upwards. Bye now.